In 1896, a man named Walter Arnold made history by going absurdly, dangerously, criminally slow. At least by today's standards. This is the curious case of the world's first speeding ticket, when a shocking speed of 8 miles per hour was enough to land you in jail. To understand why 8 miles per hour was considered reckless, let's travel back to late Victorian England. The streets of Paddock Wood, Kent, were typically filled with horse-drawn carriages moving at around 2 or 3 miles per hour, pedestrians, and the occasional newfangled horseless carriage. These early automobiles were viewed with deep suspicion. Many considered them dangerous machines that would frighten horses and endanger public safety. This fear led to the creation of the Locomotive Act of 1865, also known as the Red Flag Act. The law required all self-propelled vehicles to travel no faster than 2 miles per hour in towns, have a crew of 3 people, and most famously, have a man walking ahead of the vehicle waving a red flag to warn others. On January 28, 1896, Walter Arnold decided he'd had enough of crawling along at 2 miles per hour. He took his Arnold-Benz motor carriage through the streets of Paddock Wood at what was then considered a breakneck speed 8 miles per hour. But local constable John Carpenter was having none of it. In a moment of historical irony, the policeman had to chase Arnold down, on his bicycle. Yes, the world's first car chase involved a bicycle pursuing a car, and the bicycle won. Not only was Arnold breaking the speed limit by a whopping 6 miles per hour, but he had also committed the cardinal sin of driving without a man carrying a red flag in front of his vehicle. Arnold was hauled before the local magistrates, where he faced charges that today sound more like a Monty Python sketch than a criminal proceeding. Defendant did unlawfully propel a locomotive by using other than animal power at a greater speed than 2 miles per hour. The court was particularly disturbed that he achieved such dizzying velocity without the safety measure of a man waving a red flag. For context, this means Arnold's car was racing down the street at approximately the same speed as a motivated chicken. The verdict: guilty as charged. Arnold was fined £1 plus costs. That's about £6 or $7.50 today. Apparently, the price of speed in 1896 was less than a modern fast food meal. But Arnold's crime actually helped change history. Later that same year, the Locomotives on Highways Act of 1896 was passed, raising the speed limit to a blistering 14 miles per hour. This was celebrated with the famous Emancipation Run from London to Brighton, a journey which, for the first time, could legally be completed without a man jogging in front of your car with a red flag. You might wonder why 14 miles per hour was chosen as the new limit. Apparently, this was determined to be the speed at which your hat would definitely blow off, marking the clear line between civilized motoring and reckless abandon. Today, we complain about 70 miles per hour speed limits, while poor Walter Arnold was treated like a menace to society for moving at the speed of a casual jog. To put this in perspective, a typical house cat can run faster than Arnold's reckless speed. Olympic walking athletes would have been considered speed demons. And a falling coconut hits the ground faster than his car was moving. So the next time you're caught speeding, just remember, at least you weren't arrested for going slower than a squirrel can run. Although, try not to use that excuse with the police officer, it probably won't help. From the world's slowest speed demon to today's highways, we've certainly come a long way. This has been the curious case of history's first speeding ticket, when 8 miles per hour was enough to make you public enemy number 1.